Hello guys, welcome back to another interesting episode. Today's video is quite interesting. It's coming from Sky News Australia. It's titled Lefties Losing It. Sky News host blast ungrateful mother whining about her parents. Now this looks quite interesting. Before we dive into today's video, if you're stopping by for the first time or see my beautiful face for the first time, hello, do want to click on the red subscribe button, like this video, kindly watch to the end so you can drop an interesting meaningful conversation or comment in the comment section below. And it's okay if you don't have anything to say, just say hello, I'm watching from Australia, hi, I'm watching from Texas. Wherever you're watching from, you're welcome. We make sure we welcome our newcomers, our new viewers, new subscribers in a very special way. So thank you for stopping by today, and do well to turn on your post notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Okay, thank you to all my to my returning subscribers and viewers. So all my returning viewers, why have you not subscribed? Like, why? Anyway, I will appreciate if you guys actually subscribe to the channel. You know, it helps the channel moving, and we know that okay, we are great, and you guys are hitting 2,000 in a bit. Thank you for subscribing, sharing, you know, liking, commenting. Everything keeps this girl moving. So thank you so much. Let's dive straight into today's conversation. It's coming from Sky News Australia. Let's get into it.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. You know, nothing makes me happier than when new pronouns drop, new ways to mangle the English language and beclown yourself. So strap yourselves in for this pronoun extravaganza. I can guarantee even your non-binary greenhead cousin from Seattle hasn't heard some of these.
So this is a video for neopronoun users to duet. Or if you're considering neopronouns for yourself, maybe even try a blind react. However, safety first. Before you do either of those things, make sure you're in a mental state where if you do get misgendered, you will be okay. All right, are you ready? Let's get started. Do you see this person next to me? E is my friend. C has had to put up with a lot to get to where Per is today. I just want to let Glint know that Thon is valid, that verb pronouns are valid, and that Sarah identity is valid. I wish Void all the best, and look forward to maybe even seeing some of their lovely content someday. Please, treat them with respect, and I'm sure A will respect you too. So how did that feel? Are there any neopronouns that stuck out to you that you might want to use for yourself? Good luck on your pronoun journey.
How did that feel? I don't know. I feel like I lost 20 IQ points. That's how I feel. And while we are losing IQ points at a rapid rate, let's check in with the Veep. Take it away, Kamala.
Fortunate and blessed to, during the course of being vice president, have many situations where it becomes clear to me that there are, you know, people of every age and gender, by the way, who see something about being the first that lets them know they don't need to be limited by other people's limited understanding of who can do what.
Yes, that was profound. Now to a pampered little princess who has clearly been indulged by her supportive parents. Listen to this mad rant about the perils of having a mum and dad who love and care enough to be there at all your events, all the boring dance recitals and sporting events. Apparently that's tantamount to abuse.
Am I the only one whose narcissistic parent would show up to every single event I was ever involved in? This is one of those weird ones where I always felt like speaking about this behavior negatively could be perceived in the wrong way, like my parent was just being supportive, and how lucky was I to have a parent who always showed up. Boo-hoo, your parent was there for you. But did you also feel like sometimes it was a bit excessive, especially if it was a bit more of a repetitive thing where maybe I was doing the same thing on multiple days in a row? Like, you do not have to attend every one. And what makes this lean more towards the negative, in my opinion, in terms of behavior, is that if I ever didn't want them to show up to every single showing of something, that was considered to be disrespectful. It was very much that taking me out of school for lunch, sort of picking me up and dropping me off everywhere I went energy, where on the surface it seems very convenient, very thoughtful even, but it's a pattern of controlling behavior, I think, for narcissistic parents.
Oh, could you be?
Before the host actually drops her opinion, because I would love to hear hers, but let me say mine and how I feel about what she just said. I think the dream of every child, right, is to have a supportive parent wherever they go to. Like anywhere I turn to, I need to say my parents there supporting me, cheering me on, especially when I have events in school where I need people to actually support me, especially my loved ones, my parents. A lot of children do actually want that privilege of a parent being there, but they don't, right? And then you are coming out to say your parents are narcissistic because they show up at every of your events, they take you to school, they drop you off. I don't know. I still think that the child is being spoiled, just like the presenter said. She's a spoiled child. And maybe I can understand where she's coming from, right? If as a child, even as an adult, right, there are some events that you want to go to. Like she looks like she's a teenager or a young adult, right? And you know, yeah, there are some events you actually want, or you want your parents to be there. Maybe she feels choked, like super choked, like I want to go out with my friends, or I don't think that's even the situation. She's saying events where she has to do, like maybe sports event, for example, or there's a place where she needs to present and then she needs support, and her parents feel like, I don't know how I feel about this, but I still think that maybe she's just being a spoiled child. Maybe because she has both parents there for her, she feels, I don't know, I honestly don't know, but let's hear what the presenter has got to say.
I don't know, less ungrateful, I don't know. Let's go to a lefty losing it, pushing demented fantasist tales of what life would be like under a second Trump term. This is 85-year-old Californian Congresswoman Maxine Waters.
The man who we better be careful about, and I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask the Justice Department and I'm going to ask the President to tell us what they're going to do to protect this country against violence if he loses. I want to know about all of those right-wing organizations that he's connected with, who are training up in the hills somewhere and targeting, what communities they're going to attack.
Training up in the hills. Yes, those right-wing organisations. The pure weapon-grade chutzpah there is something to behold. Not only is she obviously lying about Trump and his supporters, but does she think we've forgotten what she said even after the BLM Antifa riots raged across America, causing around $2 billion in damage, leaving more than 20 people dead, many more seriously injured?
Wow.
Even after all that, Maxine told them to stay on the streets and fight if Derek Chauvin was not convicted of murder.
We've got to not only stay in the street, but we've got to fight for justice. But I am very hopeful, and I hope that we're going to get a verdict that is say guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away.
And that's not the worst of it. This is Democrat Congresswoman Maxine Waters back in 2018 encouraging mobs to attack Trump's cabinet members wherever they found them.
Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
That is Mad Maxine. I mean, this is her coming out, vocally saying and encouraging people to do violence, to be violent. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts about Maxine and her ways. I mean, so in this video today, there were I think about 3 stories. The first one was the pronoun story. Honestly speaking, I honestly did not see or hear any pronoun. I was expecting maybe a new pronoun, but I didn't. All she said, you guys can go back to hear what she said. All she said was, can you see the person behind me? I looked behind her and I didn't see anyone behind her. Anyway, let me know your thoughts concerning that video, Mad Magazine, and the spoiled child. Because honestly, what do I feel about that? I think she's just been a spoiled child. And on another thought, thinking about it, I think some children get to a certain age and they just need their freedom. They just need a little bit of, they just need less of the choking. Yes. Now, but she actually sounds very ungrateful. She sounds very ungrateful because there are some parents, I mean, the fact that they are showing up doesn't mean they have all the time in the world. They're trying to make the time just to show up for their child. And if you're coming out to say things like this, you're just an ungrateful child, right? But I also understand that there's an age a child comes to, especially as teenagers. They want to be left alone to do certain things, right? They don't want to be dropped off. They want to walk back home like their friends. They want to walk to school like their friends. You know, they want to go out, you know, alone and have that freedom, you know, maybe just a little bit of freedom, you know, like her friends have. But I mean, it's very ungrateful for a child to come out to say your parents are narcissistic, you know, because they show up at every of your events. I want my parents to show, I wish my parents had showed up at every of my events in school. There was a time in school where I didn't have my father come for a parent-teachers meeting. My father would send his personal assistant to come, and I wished my father came. There are times my mother showed up when I wanted my father to show up. That did not make me an ungrateful child because I knew my father was working so hard to give me a good life. So I feel every child should be grateful for what they have. And on the flip side, you know, I can understand the freedom that comes with their age. So as probably she's getting older, she wants to probably do certain things at her age. Maybe when her parents do not show up at very important events of her life, then she will realize, you know, the importance of her parents. Anyway, please drop your comments and your thoughts concerning this particular conversation. I would really love to know how you guys feel about this. Do not forget to like, share, drop a comment, turn on your post notification bell, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next episode. Bye bye.